What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I go by Rich Marie, and in today's video I'm actually going to show you guys how I got these messy distressed textured like boho locks. I was really inspired by Teyana Taylor's locks, Ciara when she did hers, and it's a girl on YouTube. I don't want to butcher her name. Her name is like Adira Annie or something like that. I'll have her video linked down below. I was really inspired by her video too. That helped me with my technique. So you can pause this as I go through the hair that I'm using. I didn't purchase all this hair at once. I just had like a bag of hair and then I added to it with some things. So I used 2.5 packs of this Cuban twist in 24 inches, the color 1. And then I used one bundle of this super soft 20-inch and one B30. It came with 3 bundles in a pack. I only used one bundle of it. I used 6 bundles, or 6 packs, shall I say, of this spring twist hair. 5 packs was in the color 1 and 1 pack was in the color 30. And that is what you're going to use a bulk of your wrapping with. I used a half a pack of Features Braid and Boho Braid, color 1, and then I used half a pack of Go-Go Curl, color 1B and 30. And that's just the curl pattern, the 2 different curl patterns that I used. And then I used half a pack of Jamaican Braid, color 30. Now I know you're probably like, girl, these are a bunch of different packs of hair. You'll see in the video why I used so many different textures and bags, because I wanted my locks to be really textured. So it wasn't necessarily a lot of hair. It was just me pulling from things that I already had in the house, like different textures, different curl patterns and stuff like that to get the look. So I did go ahead and just throw all my hair in an apple cider vinegar wash, because with locks, my scalp tends to get super itchy. So I wanted to try to avoid that. So I got like a little bucket, warm water, some apple cider vinegar, and I poured all the hair in there. And then I'm just making sure the hair is thoroughly coated with water and apple cider vinegar. And I let that soak for like an hour or 2 before I went ahead and took it out and just rinsed it off. Alrighty guys, so before I go into a protective style, I like to, shampoo and deep condition really well. This is an old twist out in my head. It's probably about 6 days old. But especially with locks, I like to shampoo and deep condition and moisturize it super well, because you can't get to your real hair when it's in locks. So you have to do a bulk of the moisture and everything before you install. And then I blew out my hair and I went ahead and pre-parted my sections, and then I went ahead and braided them up. So I didn't braid all the way down with these. What I did is that I did like 2 inches of braids and then turned it into a 2-strand twist, just so it wouldn't take so long. But it still took me about an hour and a half to do my whole head. I did count it. I have 52 braids in my head, so I'm going to have 52 locks. And I went ahead and did that because I know sometimes people ask that in the comments, like, how many braids is it? I don't see the relevance in that, because everybody's hair density is different. And what you want is going to be different, like the sizing that you want. But, if you think you have the same density that I do, this is 52 locks. And they were wasteland, so they took a very long time. I didn't use pre-made locks or anything like that. These are handmade locks by me. So yeah, this is the hair now that is 3/4 done. The different textures are going on and everything like that, and I'm going to show you guys really quick how I installed it. So what I did, I took one piece of the Cuban twist hair, and it's super thick. This is the 24-inch Cuban twist hair. I pull that in half, and then I'm going to take 1/2 of that hair that I separated, and I cut it in half with scissors. And then we're just going to put that to the side. Don't even worry about that. So the other half, I am going to crochet it into my hair. And I'm just going to do it so that it is one side on each side of the braid. And I interlock it through the braid part, not the twist part, because the braid part can hold it up a little better. I didn't crochet it through the root, because I'm going to crochet another piece of hair through the root of through the base of this braid. And I didn't want too much hair and too much tension rubbing at my roots and everything. So that Marley hair, that Cuban twist hair, shall I say, is just going to be used for length and to help with the width of the lock. Then I'm going to take this spring twist hair and I'm going to separate it, rough it up really good, because we want it to be very wide when we go through and start the wrapping process. We don't want it to be so uniformed like spring twist hair comes. And I like to start the hair with this because it's so much softer than Marley hair is, or the Cuban twist hair. It's extremely soft, and it kind of it helps give you that like butterfly look or that boho look on locks. So I crochet and I'm taking the short end, and normally I'll just hold it next to the braid and wrap, but I found that this gives you a more natural look, and you're able to get more distressed look at your roots if you wrap with the shorter piece first. So I'm just wrapping with the shorter piece extremely tight. Well, not tight to the point that, you know, it's too tight on my scalp, but just tight on the braid, not loosely wrapping. And then I'm going to take the longer end of that hair, and I'm going to start wrapping at the root. I wrap around 3 or 4 times, or until it feels like it's really secure and like the braid or anything isn't showing. And then I just start loosely wrapping down the length of the lock. I'm putting my thumb in there just to give it like some more texture and to pull different things out. It's no rhyme or reason, but I'm just trying to do it messy but still secure enough where you don't see like the braid falling out or different things coming out of my hair. So just wrapping it, and then I wrap until it's about maybe 1 inch or 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of hair left. And then I add another piece of hair. So that hair that we cut in half earlier of that Cuban twist hair, that's where it comes into play. I'm going to attach it. So I take the short end of it, I attach it to the lock that I'm holding, and then I take the long end and attach it to the piece of hair that I'm wrapping with. And I just start continuing to wrap. So now you're starting to see where all those different textures come into play. Now, again, I'm not encouraging y'all to go out and buy a ton of different hair. That's unnecessary. If you do your hair on a regular basis, then you probably have a bag of hair at home already, full of hair that you haven't used all the way up, or a little leftover hair. Use that. Use all those different textures to help you with the wrapping process, because it makes your lock look more like, it looks more distressed and more what's the right word? I guess more authentic. Because, you know, real locks are, you know, different. They look different. Like one part of it is a little bit more frizzy than the rest. Like, you know, it looks different. So to have that real distressed look, and like I said, Teyana's locks, they are super boho. I think she even got some straight pieces of hair in hers. I'm pretty sure they weren't like handmade or anything like, well, they were, but they probably wasn't on her head like that. They probably installed them differently. And then now I'm just showing y'all how I finished the ends, but I'll show you again because this wasn't the greatest video of it. But really what I do is I just wrap down to where I want to stop, and then I start wrapping the hair right back up until there's no more hair left. I don't use any nail glue or anything like that. I just wrap it amongst itself. So again, back to having like the different texture and the different color. Like I'm trying to give like really boho vibes. I added, you know, some 30 pieces in my hair as well. And this is, I think that's the Jamaican braid. Yeah, that's the Jamaican braid. And I'm using that. And then I use the spring twist. I interlock it at the root. I throw the long piece to the side. I wrap the short piece around. And then once that is fully wrapped, I am going to start wrapping down with the long piece. So to really give it that messy look, some of the ends I did add a curly piece to, some of them I didn't. Some of the locks have like curls coming out of them, some don't. So what I did is I took a piece of curly hair and I cut it. I didn't use the whole piece, just because, you know, adding a bulk of a bunch of hair makes the locks heavier. So I just cut a little piece of hair, and I took the short end and I held it in my hand, and I wrapped that short end up like I was just wrapping the lock. And then I pulled the long end down, and then I started wrapping around the long end. And then I just started wrapping back up the lock with the rest of the Marley hair that was on the lock, and the rest of the spring twist hair, just to secure everything. So I don't use any nail glue or anything like that. I did used to use it when I would to secure the locks, but with this type of hair, it pretty much locks onto itself. So if you just keep wrapping it until there's no more hair left, you're pretty much secure. With the textured hair, you can't really do that with the silkier textured hair, but with the rougher textures, it locks up itself. So again, I'm just repeating the same process throughout my whole head, and I do it from roots to tips. And like I said, these are waist length. So it took quite a bit of time. It took me, I want to say, 2 hours to do the individual braids on my real hair, and then wrapping and everything probably took me about 7 or 8. So altogether about a 10-hour style on myself. So make sure you have some time set aside to do this. I mean, I'm pretty sure if they were shorter, it wouldn't take as much time, but because they were long, it took a lot of time. I used about 3 pieces of hair on each lock. And let me remind you that these were not full length hairs, because I was cutting stuff in half. So you have to keep that in mind too. So this is where I just threw some hair in. So again, you kind of get to see, I take the shorter end and I just wrap it like I'm wrapping the lock like normal. And then I pull the long hair down. I wrap that a little bit just so it's really secure. And then I pull the hair to the side. If you were doing this on somebody else's head, you shouldn't put it in your mouth. But if you're doing it on yourself, put it in your mouth, okay? Get it out your way and just continue to wrap the hair like normal. Make sure you have a good grip on it and like tightly twist or tightly wrap when you're adding new hair, so you won't get that bulky like you're adding something. But yeah, that's how it pretty much looks when you get through it, and you just wrap everything. At this point, I'm exhausted. It was probably like 5 in the morning and I was just over it, but I still had like a few locks to go, and I would have just went to sleep, but I was like, yo, I got somewhere to go tomorrow, so I cannot just let my hair wait. So this is when it was fully done, and this is gonna, get your locks from looking stiff and everything like that. So this is the little technique that I saw on the girl's video that really came in clutch. Again, if you haven't seen her video, it will be in my description box. Make sure you check it out. Give credit where credit is due. Her technique, even with the different textured hair, got that from her. And also this method that I'm doing at the end. Y'all know I always seal all my protective styles with foam or hair mousse, so that's nothing new, but I am applying the mousse all over. I'm detangling those curly pieces. This is why a lot of people suggest that you use human hair, because this curly hair from like the beauty supply and everything, it naps up really, really bad. But hey, we live, locks are not got no silky hair like that, so we're good, okay? I apply the foam all over. I'm just detangling the locks, and as you can see, they look really stiff. They look very hard. They're not really bendy or anything like that. But once I apply the foam, I'm going to go through with a blow dryer to the locks, and that's going to soften them up. And then also to give them a little bit more of a lived in, like really lock look, I'm going to go in with a medium density, medium feel board brush, and I'm just going to brush my hair. Just a medium brush, and or I guess you can use soft or hard, but I have a medium one, and I just brush the locks, like actually go through with a brush to the locks and brush them like it was my hair. So that's what I do. And I just wanted to add this clip for anybody that did not know how to add the shells to your hair. I just put a rubber band. I put a put a rubber band on a bobby pin, and I push the bobby pin through the shell, grab one end and another with the rubber band, and then you can just pop it on your hair. So I hope this helped. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. Make sure you are subscribed and like this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.